Hello everyone, today we are going to start Bravely for the Queen by Mahesh Dattani, summary of Act 1. So let's begin. Before we start the summary, we need to check the characters. The main characters are Jiten and Dolly, Nitin and Alka, Sridhar and Lalita. Other characters are Ba and Daksha. Ba is mother of Jiten and Nitin and mother-in-law of Dolly and Alka. Daksha is daughter of Jiten and Dolly. And we have some minor characters whom we meet in the summary. So let's begin the summary. So the setting of that Bangalore of 1980s and 1990s. The play begins in one of the twin houses of Trivedi brothers, Jiten and Nitin, who are the main characters. Dolly, wife of Jiten, has put on a mud mask and is getting ready to go out with her husband, brother-in-law Nitin, and Nitin's wife Alka, who happens to be her younger sister. So we have seen that Nitin and Alka are two sisters. This is interrupted by arrival of Lalita. Who is Lalita? Lalita is wife of the two brothers' sole employee, Sridhar. Lalita engages her in friendly conversation about mud marks and how she scared her neighbor's son and the watchman when she was lying down under the fan to dry the mask, which the boy interpreted as being dead. The boy brought the watchman, and when she opened the door, they thought that they had seen a ghost. Lalita informs Dolly that she is there to plan a masked ball, and the ad agency of the Trivedi brothers is going to organize for the launch of Rivati. Dolly is confused because she was not aware that this meeting has to be held on this particular day. She is confident that there must have been a mix-up, and she asks Lalita to ask her husband to pick her up because after Jiten comes home, they would be going out. Lalita says that it is not possible as he has just dropped her in Kormangala and has gone to the office situated in Grant Road. Dolly suggests that as soon as he reaches his office, he would realize that there has been a mix-up and then he would return to pick her up. Meanwhile, Lalita goes on to explain the details of the masked ball and how Dolly needs to suggest outfits of the guest. Dolly shows no interest in it. Lalita changes the topic and compliments Dolly on her beautiful house. Dolly explains how her husband and brother planned the two houses to be exactly same. One house for each brother and likewise one sister for each brother. Dolly then goes up to get ready while Lalita calls the office to confirm that her husband about the mix-up of the dates. Her husband Sridhar confirms that the meeting is set for today. Dolly must be confused and when the brothers are in the office as they have worked for today regarding the ad of the Rivati account. He asks her to wait there and possibly get the job done. Meanwhile, a voice is heard upstairs. Ba, Dolly's mother-in-law, rings a bell and calls out for Dolly. Dolly, being in the bathroom, asks Lalita to attend her. Alka, Dolly's sister, enters the scene and is dressed to go out. She meets Lalita and they discuss the present scenario. Alka becomes angry at Dolly for not informing her about the change of plans, that they would not be going out. When Lalita tells her that even Dolly is unaware of as maybe because of absent-mindedness, Alka asks Lalita not to divulge any such information when she is getting ready. Here, divulge means is to reveal. She asks Lalita not to reveal any information that they are not going out to Dolly. The two converses about various things over soft drinks. While offering the drink, Lalita picks up the one in which Alka had mixed a generous amount of rum. This drink was actually meant for herself. When Lalita takes a sip, she discovers about the rum and mentions this to Alka, who laughingly tells her that it was her drink. Thereafter, Alka adds rum to her stew. They talk about Lalita's interest in making bonsais. Lalita explains the process of making them as to how the roots need to be trimmed, bonded, and its growth stunted. The conversation moves on to Ba, who after having a stroke was shifted upstairs, from where she rings a bell to call out to them if she needs anything. Alka mentions that since the cook is not there, Dolly should be more attentive as to whether or not Ba has been fed. Lalita asks whether there is a replacement, to which Alka answers that there is Kanhaiya. Mark the name. Dolly comes down and asks Lalita whether her husband is coming. Well, the three are conversing. The two sisters get into a little war of words, and in the process, details of past events are divulged. We have told earlier that divulge means to reveal. One among them is Alka's habit of drinking, due to which her tongue veins loses and she starts saying inappropriate things to Nitin. Lalita tries to change the topic by bringing up the details of the masked ball, but the sisters go on to discuss the last time then their brother Praful had come, and in a drunken fit, Alka had asked Ba in front of him whether Jiten and Nitin were from the same father as they were both so different. Even Praful had lied to Ba and Nitin about the sister's father, who was still alive and was living with his first wife. On knowing this, Nitin had thrown Alka out of the house. Alka then describes how Praful, whom Dolly considers being a saint, was actually deceitful and had once dragged her to the kitchen and burned her hair just because she returned home with a neighbor's son on his scooter. The conversation then moves to the old beggar woman who comes every day to their house and somehow manages to get inside their compound. She comes late in the evening and leaves early in the morning. Even if the watchman throws her out, she goes over to Alka's house. At first, Alka asks Dolly to let her be, but when the woman rings the door bell, Alka storms out angrily. On her return, the conversation moves on to Kanhaiya, upon which Dolly tries to stop her from speaking. Alka retorts and says that they will talk about either Daksha or Kanhaiya. Who will it be? To this choice, she leaves to Dolly. Dolly embarrassingly chooses Kanhaiya. Through the Alka's description, we get to know that Dolly is perhaps having an illicit affair with him. There is a typing mistake in the word choice, so let me correct it. So the summary of Act 1 ends here. We are going to start Act 2 in another video. Thank you and subscribe to support.